Hello, welcome to MC in Focus, Montgomery College's only student-produced news program. I'm Cody Egan.
And I'm Shenny Hoffman.
And here's your weekly news.
A Maryland state trooper was struck on the outer loop of the Beltway on Thursday afternoon while responding to another crash. Trooper Ezra Ganesh Ananda was parked in his police cruiser when a 60-year-old man driving a Mercedes-Benz merged into the right shoulder lane and collided with the back of his cruiser, trapping the officer inside. Ganesh Ananda was flown to the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center and is currently in critical condition. The condition of the driver that struck him is currently unknown. Thankfully, no one else was injured in the crashes. Charges against the driver of the Mercedes are still pending.
Nearly 40,000 Verizon employees are protesting. The protest started on Wednesday due to a contract dispute entering its 9th month. Verizon is trying to make it easier to outsource work, placing many of its employees' jobs and lives in jeopardy. The employees are protesting with the help of their unions, including the Communication Workers of America. Joining the protesters at their Brooklyn rally earlier this week was presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. This comes just before the April 19th primary in New York. The strike will continue until better conditions for the contract are settled on. The strike is expected to negatively affect Verizon internet, phone, and TV services on the East Coast.
Former NFL football star Will Smith was shot and killed Saturday night in New Orleans. Cardell Hayes, who was charged with Smith's murder, thought that the following William Carvalho, who along the other police officers shot and killed suspect's father in 2005. Sources say Hayes never let go of the incident. Smith and now retired officer Carvalho were having dinner right before the incident occurred. Later that night, Hayes was trying to follow the retired officer but was mistakenly following the wrong person. After Cardell rear-ended Smith's Mercedes, Hayes got out of the car and shot Will Smith 8 times. New Orleans police are investigating the shooting death.
The group Democracy Spring is organizing a week-long sit-in at the U.S. Capitol. The event is trending on social media with the hashtag #DemocracySpring. The demonstrators arrived at the U.S. Capitol after walking over 100 miles from the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. They are in peaceful demonstration against corporate money in politics, and some protesters say that Congress has to protect the voting rights of every American U.S. citizen. The police arrested hundreds of protesters on Monday, causing the jails to overflow. The group's website reports that 4,000 people pledged to take part in what is being called an act of civic disobedience. The protest is planned to go on until April 18th.
Members of the European Parliament adopt PNR register of air passengers. The European PNR should conduct a better method to identify potential terrorists based on information that airlines will be transmitting to the states. The PNR will require airlines to provide data on their passengers, such as their travel dates, routes, or coordinated European states affected by a flight to or from a third world country. European countries will then widen the scope to intra-European flights. The goal is to detect individuals who are not suspected of terrorism in the past, but the analysis of the data suggests that they could be involved in such acts and thus trigger an investigation. Currently, several European countries, like the United Kingdom, already have a PNR system, but there is no European harmonization at this time. Member states now have 2 years to make it official in their national legislation. Stay tuned to MC in Focus after this quick commercial break. Chariot for Women is a new Uber-like app that is for women only. The company plans to hire women drivers who cater only to women and children under the age of 13. The app is set to launch in Boston later this week, but may start legal trouble. People are debating whether or not the app is illegal or not for not hiring men. Michael Pauletz, former Uber driver and co-founder of Chariot, says giving women and their loved ones peace of mind is not only a public policy imperative, but a service that is essential to social interest. Pauletz believes that the app is legal and safer than Uber. Chariot for Women will include a safe word so no passengers and drivers can confirm each other's identity, and drivers will undergo intense background checks.
Noah's Law is waiting for Governor Larry Hogan's signature. The bill passed in the Senate and the House late Monday night. Hogan voiced his support for the bill as the legislator discussed the issue, saying Noah's Law would save a lot of lives. Supporters say this new stricter law would allow convicted drunk drivers to drive their cars, but it won't let them drive if they are intoxicated. Noah's Law will require ignition interlock devices for anyone convicted of drunk driving in Maryland. Maryland is now the 26th state to require interlocking devices. And now to Alan Ramsey with a quick package about Montgomery College's theater.
Hello, and welcome to Behind the Curtain. I'm Alan Ramsey, and last week we interviewed Professor Kenyatta Rogers, who's the head of the theater department, and we'll be giving you an inside look on what it takes to get a play onto the stage. Theater is not just only a play.
Theater is a gathering of performers and audience to watch a story through time.
Theater is a medium that brings many creative ideas together for a common goal.
There's something that wants to be spoken. A playwright will hear it, write it down, have lots of revisions and edits, will collaborate with a dramaturg or with a director or with some like-minded people who want to hear what they have to say.
The process for getting a play ready to be viewed mustn't be rushed.
About 9 months out, the director is introduced to the playwright or the playwright's work. About 7 to 6 months out from opening night, the designers come in and share their ideas with the director. By the time we get to our actors, they're not introduced until the last month. So about 5 weeks from opening night or 4 weeks from opening night, the actors are introduced.
Mr. Rogers will be directing the next play entitled The Conference of the Birds.
And it's about the birds' journey to this great and mighty mythical creature called the Smorg, the king of the birds, which is a stand-in for God. So it's a journey from one place to the next, from a place of ignorance to the light and enlightenment.
That is all from Behind the Curtain, and I hope to see you in the audience.
Then we get to opening night, we add the last ingredient, which is the audience.
There is a new innovation coming out of China. Scientists have developed technology that could turn raindrops into electric power. The design is similar, if not the same, as a solar panel. Scientists at Ocean University say that the new solar cell can be stimulated by light on sunny days and raindrops on rainy days. The combination of salt and water expand on a graphene surface that creates electricity. This technology is a counterattack on the high measures of carbon dioxide. America also has its eyes set on this new technology, as Solar City is building a new panel facility in Buffalo, New York. The factory is expected to be fully built in the year 2017.
And now here's Alan again with the week's weather.
Hi, I'm Alan Ramsey, back again with your weekend weather. This weekend is going to be nice and sunny, with today reaching a high of 66 and a low of 42 with a 0% chance of rain or snow. Saturday looks like your best bet for any outdoor activities, with a cool high of 69 and a low of 42. Sunday will be the hottest, reaching a high of 73 and a low of 47. That's it for your weekend weather. Remember to spring back into focus. Back to you guys.
automobile giant Honda is rolling out a recall. A 17-year-old girl was killed after shrapnel flew through the airbag of her 2002 Civic during a crash. The recall affects 143,000 vehicles. 11,000 Accords have been recalled as well due to these airbag issues. But Honda is not alone. Bugatti, GMC, Tesla, Hyundai, Nissan, and Subaru also have issued recalls this month. And now we go to Chris Kelly with the week's sports. I heard it was a pretty busy week this last week.
That's right, Cody. Lots of sports going on nationally and locally. The Capitals' playoff push began last night against the Philadelphia Flyers in a game that was both hard-hitting and exciting. John Carlson opened the scoring in the second period with a redirected slap shot that found its way in the back of the net. Jay Beagle added a top-shelf wrister in the third as Braden Holtby secured the shutout in the Caps' 2-0 victory. Game 2 against the Flyers is Saturday night at the Verizon Center. Puck drops at 7. On to the Diamond, where the Nationals have started off the season with a franchise-best 7-1 mark. The Nats beat the Atlanta Braves 6-3 yesterday behind homers from Bryce Harper and Wilson Ramos. Steven Strasburg pitched a gem, earning his second win on the year. Harper's homer was his 100th of his young career, as well as his first Grand Slam. Talk about having a flair for the dramatic. The Nats look to continue their hot streak tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch is scheduled for 7:05. Over to the hard court, where Wednesday night saw the Golden State Warriors set the single-season record for wins at 73. Steph Curry dropped 46 points, hit 10 threes, and finished the season with an unheard-of 402 made three-pointers on the year. Kobe Bryant called it a career on the same night, leaving the sporting world with one last Mamba moment. Bryant scored 60 points, including his team's last 17 of 19, to secure the comeback against the Utah Jazz. Bryant's 60 points are the most scored in anyone's final game in NBA history. The Wizards have parted ways with 5-year head coach Randy Whitman. The combination of the disappointing season and rumored locker room troubles ultimately cost Whitman his job. There is no timetable on when a next head coach will be announced. Today is the final day for cheer team tryouts here at Montgomery College. Anyone trying out must go to the main gym and PE building here on the Rockville campus between 6:30 and 8:30. The only requirements are students have a minimum 2.0 GPA and have submitted all the necessary forms prior to tonight. Good luck to all those who try out. That's all for sports. Cody, Shenny, back to you.
I know we're all excited to see you try out for the cheer team.
I think I'm going to give it a go this year.
You're going to do great.
Thanks.
The Sarah Silberman Art Gallery is here, and it's an educational resource of the Rockville Art Department. Its primary showcase is to augment, enhance, and promote the teaching and understanding of art through a diverse program of changing exhibitions, benefiting the college and the public. It is always exciting for students and faculty to see how the artist visually makes an image stand out. The gallery is located on the second floor of the Paul Peck Art Building on the Rockville campus. Gallery hours during exhibitions are Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., April 12th through May 6th.
And that's all for MCM Focus. I'm Cody Egan.
And I'm Shenny Hoffman.
Everyone have a great week. We'll see you next week.